everyone, this is Rishi George and this is my Java experiment number 7, that is about exception handling. So here we are going to deal with a program where we have to handle an exception, that is we are going to take the details of an employee and we have to check if the employee number, uh, if the name should be contain the name should only contain alphabets, not numbers. And the second thing is that if the age is greater than 50, that is the employee age, then an exception should be thrown. So we'll just see the code. So here we have created an employee class and we have given some variables, string name and int age. Now we have created an object for scanner method, like scanner ob is equals to new scanner, and here the main method starts. Like here it is static void age check. Here we are trying to throw an object exception, that is throws age exception. Now inside this we can see that the variable age that we take is equals to the ob dot next int, that is the value that the user enters, that is ob the type of scanner method, dot next int, that the next integer value that the user gives. Now if there is a condition that if age is greater than 50, as per the question, we have to throw an exception, that is new exception, that is age is more than 50. And if it is not true, that is age is less than 50, then we can show that input is valid, we can take it, it is not an exception. Now the second type of exception was about the name check exception. Like here we are going to throws. This is the throws method. Like in throws method we can create an exception, it is followed by a class name, and this class should be inherited from the main class, that is the exception class. Like name exception, age exception, these are the user made exceptions, and this should be inherited from the main exception class, that is exception. So here we are showing that if the object that we are taking, the user object, the input method ob dot next line, to read the next line, dot matches. The matches is a method to check the string the line that contains a to z, or capital A to Z. Like it checks if all the characters are alphabets or numbers. Like if it is alphabet, we can accept it, that is throw new exception, that is like if the condition is not true, like if ob dot next line is not equal to not matches with these alphabets, then we can show that input should be a letter, like alphabets. And like now we have the main method, that is the void static main. Inside this we are throwing the main exception, that from which all these are inherited, like throws exception. And inside this we have a try and catch block. In this try block we are taking we are calling invoking the functions name check and age check methods. Like we are also showing enter the name and age of employee. Now here we can show that we have created an object for the employee method, employee class, the first class. We have created an object for that class. We can show that the object has been created. Now we have to catch the exception that we threw. Like in the try block we throw an exception of the name check and age check. We have to catch it in this catch block, that is catch name exception, the object that is f. uh, then system.out.println, the exception is f, or we can just show f.print stack trace. It basically, the difference is that this stack trace shows all the exceptions, and here if we don't give it, we comment it, we can see uh, the type of comments we want as exception. Like we can create our own exception comments, like here by the exception is f, that is name exception. Here it is age exception, and then we have created as already stated, like the age exception and name exception should be extended from the main exception class. So we have inherited this age exception class from the exception, and then we are calling the method, that is message, from this super method, so that we inherit from the base class. Now we can see the output for this. So here it is, enter the name and age of exception, that goes in the first main method. Like if we give, normally we give some name Sam and age, the condition was it should be less than 50. So if we give 49, it will satisfy that is input is valid and object is created. Now if we check the second condition, if we give some numbers instead of alphabets, so we can check it. So the exception is name exception, input should be a letter. It shows the method that we threw in the catch block. Now you can see here the exception is name exception and input should be a letter. It goes here, then output should be a letter. Now again we'll try to send give another type of exception, like the name is valid, you can give it Sam again. And now we'll give age more than 50, like if you can 55. So we can see that the next exception is called, that is the age exception, the same method, and here the exception method is called. So that was all about exceptions handling. Thank you.